Coach Calvin Ford is at it again. Now Calvin wants to let everybody know that Bill and Devin Haney are very smart because they handpicked Regis Prograis, and he's a tailor-made opponent. I'm going to let y'all know my thoughts on it. I'm going to let y'all hear exactly what Calvin had to say. But before we do that, make sure that you hit my like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subbed to the channel. Now, ever since this past weekend, this Saturday, when Devin Haney put on a hell of a performance and beating the hell out of Regis Prograis, surprised me. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't think he was going to put it down on Regis like that. I thought he was going to beat Regis, but not in that fashion. But ever since then, of course, the talk of the boxing world been Devin Haney. But Gervonta Davis's team, and especially Calvin Ford, they've had a whole lot to say about Devin and Bill Haney lately. I mean, Calvin Ford, he's done several interviews talking about them, and we ain't heard what we want to hear from Coach Calvin Ford, Gervonta Davis's team, because we know and everybody know that's a fight that the fans have been wanting for a long, long time. And every time we hear Bill Haney and Devin Haney speak about Gervonta Davis and his team, they use a slogan that they've been using throughout the years, and that's, they say everything but let's fight. And I'm not saying that Tank don't want to smoke, but every time Calvin Ford get in front of a camera and starts talking about Devin Haney and Bill Haney, he say everything but let's make the fight. It's all of the opposite. He ain't never say let's make the fight. He start talking about the money. He start talking about everything but them fighting each other. But all in all, recently, Calvin Ford, he's done several interviews, and in the most recent interview that Calvin did, he had more things to say and how he felt about the Devin and Regis Prograis fight. Now listen to what Calvin had to say, and we're going to come back and we're going to cook on this.
Super good against Regis. I call it a tailor-made suit.
Why do you say that, Calvin? Why?
See, you gotta understand. People don't understand boxing. You understand? Like his dad, gotta give him his props to him. He peaked a 140, great chance. All the stars was lined up for that fight. You understand? He knew the promoter. They knew who was dealing with who. And they said, well, I can't fight at 135. I'm gonna go 140 fight for this world title. And it worked out in their favor. It worked out good. That's why I said it was tailor-made.
What do you think Tank does next? Yeah.
That's the question that everybody is asking. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at the fights that's out there, you know what I'm saying? Teofimo, good fight, but he's at 140. You know what I'm saying? Devin, great fight. He's at 140. Shakur just got finished fighting, don't know what he want to do. Everybody want that bag. You know what I'm saying? But again, they don't understand the business part. Can they generate enough people to come see that fight? We had two of the greatest fighters fight against each other, and they didn't even do the numbers that Canelo and them did, or Tank and them did.
So y'all heard Calvin, and y'all heard how Calvin felt about Regis Prograis and Devin Haney moving up to 140 and fighting Prograis. Now, I'm going to keep it real with y'all because, see, this is one of the few channels that you can go to and you ain't got to hear no fanboy BS, right? Now, honestly, if you look at the situation with Regis Prograis and Devin Haney, right, you can say that he was tailor-made. You could say that they planned and scouted out Regis and knew that Regis was the perfect style for them to look good against. I don't have a problem with you saying that. It could be true. A lot of these fighters be doing that nowadays. The fighters and their management team. I don't have a problem if that's how somebody feels. But you still got to give Devin Haney his credit because he went out there and Regis ain't no sucker, Regis ain't no punk, and he performed very well. So I don't have no problem if somebody feels that way, but give him his credit. But what I do have a problem with is these things coming from Calvin Ford. Yeah. Because, see, anybody associated with Gervonta Davis's team, they don't have no right to say anybody was tailor-made and hand-picked. They don't. because Gervonta Davis's whole career has been carefully thought out. All of the opponents that he fought have been tailor-made for him and handpicked. And this is 1,000% facts. So we gonna use an example because Calvin says how Devin Haney saw a tailor-made opponent at 140 pounds, and then him and Bill decided to move up and pick Regis Prograis off because they knew that Regis was tailor-made for them. Well, Gervonta Davis did the exact same thing with Mario Barrios. The fact of the matter is Mario Barrios was struggling trying to make 140 pounds. And they knew that. Mario Barrios had got beat up by Akhmadev, or however his name is. A fighter that was 6-0 at the time, beat the hell out of Mario Barrios, swole his eye up like a golf ball, and Mario Barrios got a gift decision over that fighter. After that, Barrios and his team had made the decision to move up to 147 because he was just having too hard of a time making weight and he was putting himself at a disadvantage. Well, of course, Leonard Allaby and Floyd then found out about that. They knew that Barrios had a WBA regular strap. They looked at the opportunity for Tank to be able to move up in weight, put a rehydration clause on Mario Barrios because they did do that, and bait Mario Barrios into taking a fight with Tank because, of course, it was going to be his biggest payday. Mario Barrios says yes, knowing that he was already killing himself to make weight, agreed to the rehydration clause, and bam, Tank got him right where they wanted him. So that wasn't tailor-made for Gervonta Davis. Now, it was his toughest fight, but they looked at the situation. They made sure that everything and all the cards were stacked in Gervonta Davis's favor with an opponent that just had got a gift decision over another fighter that was 6-0, a fighter in Barrios that was looked at the time as the weakest champion in the division. They knew what they was doing. When you look at Rolly, somebody that has no boxing skills, all he can do is punch. I don't have no defense. Tailor-made for Gervonta Davis. A guy like Leo Santa Cruz, moving up in weight, no punching power, stand right in front of you and go throw a million punches. Tailor-made for Gervonta Davis. Hector Garcia, another fighter, moving up in weight, somebody that's going to stand right in front of Gervonta Davis, minimal defense, don't really have no footwork. Tailor-made opponent for Gervonta Davis to look great again and get a spectacular KO. Yoriogas Gamboa, another flat-footed fighter that's going to stand right in front of Gervonta Davis and bang. Jesus Cellular, another Mexican Hispanic fighter, going to stand right in front of Gervonta Davis and bang. None of these fighters have footwork, defense, head movement, none of that. You can't fight Tank like that because he has the equalizer, the power, plus he's athletic, explosive, and he can box. But all these opponents are tailor-made for Tank Davis to look spectacular and great against. So when you talk about that Regis Prograis was tailor-made and hand-picked and sought out, it might be true. But what we know to be true, 1,000%, is that every single one of Gervonta Davis's opponents, ever since he became a champion back in 2017, was hand-picked and tailor-made for him. We also know that Devin Haney fought Vasyl Lomachenko, and Gervonta Davis was getting called out and had a chance to fight Lomachenko for years. To keep it a buck, Regis Prograis and Gervonta Davis, they had an ongoing beef for a while. And Regis was calling out Gervonta Davis when Tank moved up to 140 pounds. So he actually could have even fought Regis. Now, of course, I got Tank over Regis for sure. But I'm just letting it be known. Now, while all y'all crying and biting blood out your bottom lip, we're talking about Coach Calvin Ford. We know that Tank Davis didn't make none of these comments. But I think it's hypocritical for Calvin to be saying these things. It's also hypocritical for Calvin when he says that, yeah, they want to fight Tank, speaking to Devin Haney, But we don't know if they can put asses in the seats, if people gonna wanna come see Tank and Devin Haney fight. That's what he said in so many words, if you go back and listen to this audio. But they came to see Tank fight Pitbull Cruz. They came to see Tank fight Gamboa. And excuse me, I'm losing my voice, right? But why when it comes to an upper echelon fighter like a Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, it's always, well, the money this and money that and the asses in the seats, and we don't know if people gonna want to watch that. Like, what's up with Calvin, man? I like Calvin. Does great things for the community. But this ain't got nothing to do with that. We talking about strictly boxing and putting Tank Davis in the ring with a top fighter that everybody been calling to see him in the ring with for years. Cause we ain't seen it yet. What's up with your mans? Y'all need to come get your mans. Cause Calvin wants Tank to go throughout his whole career without taking no chances and fighting nobody but the same type of opponents that's tailor-made for him. What's up with Calvin? Y'all let me know. Drop a comment in the comment section. Make sure that y'all hit my like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subbed. And y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again. And I'm gone.
2 miles per hour, so everybody sees you. Ride.